Welcome back, friends. So, as Magda emerged as the most powerful Mahajanpada, so we need to understand that how the Magda system worked. So, and what are the different sources to know about Magad? See, we are talking about a time period which was, you can say, around 25,000 years back. So, how we come to know about those things? So, we need to go through different evidences. As in the chapter one, you must be focusing on, if you wanted to know Indus Valley civilization, our more focus was on the artifacts or the items that we recovered, because the script of Harappans we are not able to decipher. But in case of Magda, the case was not there. There are literary sources. X end amount of work has been written in Sanskrit, in Pali, Prakrit, and so many foreign visitors. They may visitors from Greece, they may visitors from China who visited that particular point of time and wrote about in details about the Magdas. So few sources which I'm going to tell you are number one is the Greek ambassador Megasthenes came to Mauryan court, so he wrote a book which was named as Indica. So that is one important source. Second important thing is about a book written by Chandragupta's minister, that was Kautilya, Chanakya, yes. And the name of that book was Arthasastra. Number three, about the various inscriptions. Now, what are inscriptions? Inscriptions are those items, those details, those information that were being written on hard, rocky surfaces so that people can see them, read them, and know what the king thinks, what the king wants them to know. So those inscriptions are very, very important. Then there were literary sources of Jaina, Buddhist, Pali, Prakrit literature. Then there were works in Sanskrit also. So all these things helped in knowing about Mauryans. So we have n number of information available about Mauryans because of the different literary sources, because of different inscriptions. Now, when we're talking about Mauryan Empire, so we need to understand basically how such a big, vast empire administered itself. पूरे एरिया को कंट्रोल करना, डिफरेंट डिफरेंट एरियाज के ऊपर अपने कंट्रोल एस्टेब्लिश करना, और इतनी बड़ी एम्पायर से इंफॉर्मेशन गैदर करना, दैट वाज वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट. So when you talk about the administering the empire, so what these Magadha people did, because the area was vast, so they divided the whole area into six important parts, and there were six important provincial centers. How many important centers? There were six important provincial centers. Let me name them. One was Takshila, one was Ujjaini, one was Toshali, one was Swarnanagari, and another important was the capital Patliputra. Now, question is, I said six. Yes, there were five. Why said I six? Because I just wanted to get your attention so that you can call out. See, I do the same thing in class. Sometimes when I'm teaching in the class, I will give you a wrong figure so that just to check it out whether you are attentive in the class or not. So the final statement is, how many centers were there? There were five important provincial centers. Few I named, like Toshali, there was Ujjaini, there was Swarnagri, and there was, yes, of course, the Patliputra. Right? Now, at these five centers, the Patliputra was the capital. Before Patliputra, Rajgaha. Rajgaha is a Prakrit word. We talk about Sanskrit word, it will be Rajgrah. So you see that there is a relationship between Prakrit and Sanskrit. Pali and Prakrit were the languages that were being used by common people. Sanskrit was the language that was being used by kings and Brahmanas. So there were five important political centers, and at these centers, they were fortified. There was military regiment there, and the whole area adjoining those particular political centers were being governed by there, and the messages and information from different centers used to reach to Patliputra. Why Patliputra? Because Patliputra was the center from where everything was being done. Now, another important thing which I told you, that the important use of army. See, at that point of time, survival was very, very important, and at the same time, expansion was very, very important. If you are not able to expand yourself, you will not survive. So, because of that reason, the Magadha people, the Mauryans basically, they focus more on military arrangement. So, what they did, they divided the whole military system into 6 subcommittees. Now the number is clear here. 6 means 6, not 5. So there were 6 military subcommittees. For example, there was one subcommittee for charioteers. There was one subcommittee for elephants. So why it was being done? So that there is better management and movement of army can be done. Another important thing that is mentioned here is about the dhamma. No, not just hamma. It's not hamma. It's dhamma. Dhamma is basically a righteous course of action that was being propagated by Ashoka. And to propagate it and to expand it, what he did, he sent his people, his ministers, those who were named as Dhamma Mahamatyas, including his son and daughter, to different parts of the empire so that Dhamma can be propagated. Although the Maurya Empire was very, very strong, there were kings like Chandragupta Maurya and Ashoka, but the empire did not last more than 150 years. Why? Because of weak successors. There was war of rivalries between different kingdoms, then emergence of new provincial centers which were more powerful than the Magda. But still, till date, although it lasted for 150 years, but it is one of the most important empire of Indian history, and it provides inspiration, it provides a feeling of pride among Indians that at such an ancient age, our culture was so rich and we were so powerful.